If you go back to the pre-liberation era, that is before 1961, you would see that we have the large tracts of Khazan lands. The Khazan system is an integrated system of agriculture and aquaculture to satisfy the basic needs of the people with checks and balances to take care of the environment, not destroying it. Our ancestors, perhaps some thousands of years back, they reclaimed the wetlands, and in order to protect it from the river water, they constructed bunds, riachos, ponds, drains, with embankments. Just imagine how in those old days when there were not so much transport availability, how they must have carried these big stones, must be all by river transport, small canoes and all that. It's a marvelous engineering feat. In order to regulate the flow of water, they built a sluice gate with wooden doors. So in the high tide, only regulated water comes inside. In the low tide, the water goes out, and you can put up a net and do fishing at the sluice gate. Their embankments were built in such a way that no salt water would come up into the fields. They could cultivate rice during the monsoon as well as in the winter and summer season, and also could do vegetable. So all that was necessary because 50, 60 years back, what the people wanted? They wanted just, minimum satisfaction of the minimum needs. Rice, you have curry, you have vegetable, you have fish. That's what they did. And something extra they could get, they could sell and buy their other things that they needed. So this was a self-contained economic model that was Khazan system. And people were happy doing agriculture at that time. Every small piece of land that was available was being cultivated, whether it is a Khazan land or a plateau land which is called as Bharad. And the upper lands had the cultivation of coconut, cashew, mango, jackfruit and so many other fruit trees. So it was greenery all around. So later on, things changed. People started moving away from agriculture. In the last 30 to 40 years, the fields are being kept fallow. As far as this village, Chorao, is concerned, hardly 20 to 25% of the land is now being cultivated. Earlier, the people used to work themselves in the fields, Today, no longer, except perhaps the senior citizens. Hopefully, the Khazan lands will have to be brought under cultivation, but nothing is possible without the cooperation of the people. The people, or the farmers who have become the owners of the land, now have to take the initiative in order to cultivate this land, because food is the most important component.
शेताक फायदो आहा, नुस्त्याक फायदो आहा. नुस्त्याक म्हणजे ते पावसान उदक चड येयलें म्हणटकूच लोटोन येता आनी नुस्तें शेतान वयर चडटा, बारीक बारीक जीव तांतयां घालपाक, मोटें नुस्तें. आनी शेताचें ते हें धरता आदारान तातूंत तांतयां घालता. तांतयां घातली म्हणटकीर ती मागीर व्हडली तांतयां मोटी नुस्तीं जाता आनी मागीर ती इल्लें सोकलां देंवता. हें आहा. आमी ल्हान आसतना नुस्तें स्टार्ट आमी मारूंक करताले तेन्ना तेन्ना नुस्तें बरें मेळटालें आमकां की केन्नाय वचून नुस्तें हाड धरून आनी बरें हेल्थी नुस्तें आनी बरें टेस्टींग. आमच्या खाजनान वच रोखडें गावतालें तुका हातीन धरून घेवन यो. ते फातर आसता तांकां खावूनदार आमी भरपूर. कुल्ल्यो बीन खूब भरपूर. आतां एक घालो ही जारी काड कुल्ल्यो. आतां तितलें ना दिसता म्हणल्यार त्या टायमार आमच्या भुरगेपणांत खूब नुस्तें खाताले आमी. आमी टायमार वेताले नुस्तें. आतां गेले घरा कडेन नुस्तेकार कोण येवना नुस्तें ना आतां. 11:30 सुमार दनपारचे गेले धरलें तें हाडलें रोखडें 12 म्हणल्यार तेका उजरोवन केली कोडी तेजी. आनी इतली टेस्टी नुस्तें न्ही चड टेस्टी तेन्ना खूब बरें खावंक लागतालें. त्या टायमार हें नासलें न्हू कॅमिकल कांयच ना बरें आहलें तेन्ना. आतां नुस्तें खूब जाय तें शॉर्ट जालां कमी जालां. कीड लागली म्हणटा तेका तें आमी कॅमिकल घालता. कॅमिकल घालता तें आमकां इफेक्ट जाता नुस्त्याक. नुस्तें पिड्ड्यार जाता आमचें जीव मरता आनी खूब लॉस जाता हेजेर. आनी सगल्यांक लुकसाण न्ही कित्याकूय तूं आतां दर्यांत नुस्तें मारूंक देंवता तेका पासून लॉस तें. ताका पासून मार बसता हेजो कॅमिकलाचो. इफळाचो फायदो म्हणजे नुस्तें जावपाक बरें पडटा. व्हरून घालून ती पानां कुसली म्हणटो नुस्त्याक तें खावंक मेवता ताजो तेज्या पानां पासून कुसता इतलें तें बरें जाता. धाकटी झोण करून ल्हान तांती घातली म्हणटो ती तेज्या पासून चड जाता. हो फायदो आहा त्या नुस्त्याक आमकां.
Just to walk into these mangroves, on first glance, it just looks like, a marshy habitat. But you take a step in, you open up your eyes, you listen, and around me right now I can hear tons of these clicks, which are the little pistol shrimp. You look around you, there are these big mounds, which are constructed by the mud lobsters, which actually aerate the soil and fertilize it, allow for new mangroves to regenerate. The mangroves themselves are so uniquely adapted. They've got these breathing roots that emerge from the ground that are able to excrete excess salt and also aerate the ground. So this island has a really unique history. It was one of the many reasons we chose this to be one of our pilot sites. And when I say that, I mean just looking at this sort of pristine mangrove ecosystem that you see here, it's pretty spectacular to have something growing up from rice paddies within a duration of less than 50 years. So it just tells you something. It tells you that ecosystems have an immense ability to regenerate and restore themselves if left to their own means. When I talk about conservation, I don't mean people-free conservation. I actually mean, the human in the system. And this is something that our communities have realized. They didn't have a specific name for it, but we have lived with this system for centuries. It's only now we see an ecosystem as separate and the human element living in isolation, really. So I think this is one of those perfect examples where it's really a true participatory system where we are involving communities in conservation of these spaces. If you just walk out right to the bank, you'll see people putting out stake nets where they know that the mangroves harbor and provide refuge for a large number of seafood species, which include large fish like snapper, your sea bass, mullet, crabs, clam, like a huge variety of seafood resources. This is a project that focuses on the conservation of coastal and marine biodiversity at key sites in the country. And we are standing in one of the many pilot sites, which is the Dr. Salim Ali Bird Sanctuary, which is primarily this mangrove habitat. When we work with the system, it's not just what the ecosystem is about, but about the huge amount of resources that these systems provide. When we talk about the conservation of these ecosystems, we've got a unique example in Chorao. In that, there's a system that's been in existence for thousands of years. So bringing all this knowledge, how many people know that nearly 60% of our fish catch is spent at least some point of its life in the mangroves? You need to get these messages out to the general public. And I think that's where our project really stands apart, so linking the local population with the managers and the general public.
Dr. Salim Ali Bird Sanctuary, Chorao Island, is just 2 square kilometers, but its closeness to the bustling city of Panjim is a heaven which provides refuge not only to the birds, the fishes, the other animals, the small mammals, but also provides a lot of resources to us back, because it's like a nursery which gives us fish, which is a very important food for us. It also protects our coastal area, because these mangroves, they literally walk on the water and they give us protection from the salinity, from the tidal influx and the waves. And in return, they are giving us back oxygen, the food, and the future itself by protecting this island. This whole effort of bringing a part of the nature back into picture makes sense now. That's what we are going to convey, that it's for the benefit of the people we have done it, and the people should not think that Chorao Island protected area, the sanctuary, is something which has been taken away from them, but actually it is something which is bringing them something which was actually existing in the past also, and we lost that connection somewhere in time because of our zeal for fast development. And now I think this brings back the whole system in which the nature, the human beings, the animals and the birds can live in harmony, and that's what we are going to project. And this message will go through the visitors, to the students, to the farming community, the fishermen community. Everyone will understand in a much better way. So this will be a showcasing what protection and conservation means. It's not just protection, it's actually resource conservation and resource utilization also, which we are doing through this small pocket of nature, the mangrove.